My fiancé got fit, decided I wasn't good enough, and started an OnlyFans. So I canceled the wedding and moved on with her sister. Man, a 27-year-old male, never thought I'd be writing this. But I need to get this off my chest. I've been with my fiancée, I'll call her Amy, a 27-year-old female, for 9 years, since we were both freshmen in college. You know those relationships where everything just feels right? That was us, or at least I thought it was. We met at this stupid campus event. I was helping set up chairs. Yeah, I was that guy who actually volunteered for stuff. And she was there with her friend group. She was shy back then, kind of kept to herself, but we got talking about random stuff and just clicked. We started dating a few weeks later. What drew me to Amy the most back then wasn't just how pretty she was. It was how genuinely kind and humble she was. She wasn't flashy, didn't care about expensive things, and always talked about wanting a simple, happy life. She'd rather stay in and watch movies than go out partying. She got excited over small things, finding a new coffee shop, getting a good deal on groceries, or even just spotting a cute dog on the street. She had this way of making normal, boring moments feel special, and man, she used to be so sweet. The kind of person who'd write little notes for me if she left early, surprise me with my favorite snacks, or send a random thinking of you text just because. Things were great for years, like genuinely great. We moved in together after graduation, got decent jobs, and had this whole future planned out. I proposed a year ago, nothing fancy, just a nice dinner at home, and then I got down on one knee. She cried, I cried, it was perfect. That's when everything started changing, but I was too dumb to see it coming. Right after the proposal, Amy said she wanted to wait to set a wedding date until she reached her goal. She said she wanted the dress to fit, to look perfect in the wedding photos. It made sense to me. Everyone wants to look good on their big day, right? I had her back 100%, got her workout gear, stocked the house with healthy food, and listened to all the talk about calories, macros, and whatever else. I even gave some of her workouts a shot, but they weren't really my thing. I'm more of a powerlifting guy, built for strength, not endurance. Got that strongman bear mode physique going on? It never used to be a problem. In fact, she loved it, always said she felt safe when I hugged her. She started going to this fancy gym downtown. That's where she met Jen, her new trainer. At first, Jen seemed cool, really motivated, always posting inspiring stuff on social media. Amy would come home from sessions with her all excited about reaching new goals. I was happy for her. The weight started coming off pretty fast, like noticeably fast. Amy was working really hard, I'll give her that. But with every pound she lost, she seemed to get different, more distant. She started spending more and more time at the gym, always texting with Jen about workout plans and meal prep. Then the comments started. Little ones at first. Maybe you should try eating what I'm eating. Or Jen says couples who work out together stay together. I tried not to let it bother me, but they kept coming, getting more frequent, more pointed. One night, we were getting ready for bed, and Amy was checking herself out in the mirror. By then, she'd lost about 50 pounds. Then, without even looking at me, she goes, "You know, guys at the gym have started noticing me." She said it super casually, like she was commenting on the weather. I laughed it off, tried to make a joke, but something about the way she said it made my stomach twist. I still remember exactly what she said next. It's crazy how many options there are once you get in shape. Options. That word stuck in my head like I was just one option among many now. I started noticing other changes too. Her Instagram posts got more attention-seeking, I guess. Lots of gym selfies, progress pics, that kind of thing. The comment section was always full of random guys leaving fire emojis and worse. She said it was just part of building her brand, whatever that means. Our regular date nights turned into her taking pictures of everything for social media. We couldn't just enjoy a meal anymore. She had to get the perfect angle, the perfect lighting. Sometimes the food would be cold by the time she finished taking pictures. Looking back now, I can see all the warning signs, how she started dressing differently, not just because of the weight loss but like, provocative. Started wearing crop tops to family dinners, that kind of thing. I kept telling myself it was just a phase, that she was just excited about her progress. People get like that when they're working toward a goal, right? Get a little obsessed, a little focused on themselves. It'll pass, I thought. But the changes in Amy just kept getting more obvious. By month 8 of her fitness journey, that's what she called it on social media, she'd lost over 100 pounds, and honestly, She looked incredible, like straight up, model level gorgeous. I'm not going to lie about that. But her personality? That changed way more than her body did. Remember that trainer, Jen, I mentioned? Turns out she wasn't just a trainer. She was running this whole women's empowerment thing at the gym. Sounds good, right? Except her version of empowerment was basically telling girls they needed to level up and find better guys. Amy started repeating all these weird phrases Jen would say, like know your worth and never settle. I noticed how Amy started critiquing everything about me. She never did that before. My clothes, you dress like a dad. My workouts, powerlifting is going to make you fat. Even the way I eat. No one needs that much protein. It was constant. Every day, some new comment about how I needed to change. The worst part? She'd do it in front of people, like when her gym friends came over for dinner. Yeah, that was a thing now. Every meal had to be Instagram-worthy. She'd make these jokes about how I was letting myself go while she was glowing up. Her friends would laugh, and I'd just sit there feeling like garbage. I started noticing weird stuff on her phone too. She'd get all these direct messages from random guys, which she said was just networking. She changed her phone password, started taking her phone with her everywhere, even to the shower. Real subtle, right? One day, I was doing laundry and found this tiny gym outfit in her bag, way smaller than what she usually wears to work out. I asked her about it and she got super defensive, said it was for a special project with Jen. I didn't think much of it at the time. Wish I had. Things got worse at the gym too. She'd spend hours there, way longer than any normal workout should take. Always had some excuse, extra cardio, posing practice, whatever that is. Meetings with Jen about a business opportunity. She started going on weekends too, even though we used to have this rule about weekends being our time together. The social media stuff was getting out of control. Every post had to be perfect. She'd make me take like 50 pictures of her in different poses, then complain that none of them were good enough. She started posting these motivational captions about not letting anyone hold you back and reaching your full potential. Pretty sure those were aimed at me. I also noticed she wasn't wearing her engagement ring anymore. At first I thought maybe she took it off for the gym, but then I realized she wasn't wearing it anywhere anymore. I asked her about it one day, and she just shrugged. Doesn't really match my gym aesthetic, she said, barely looking up from her phone. I tried to laugh it off. Oh, so your aesthetic is single now? She just smirked. Something like that. And that hit different. I didn't say anything, but deep down, something twisted in my gut. It was like she'd already decided she was halfway out the door, just waiting for the right moment to leave. But the final straw for me was one morning, I was in the kitchen, flipping protein pancakes because, trying to be supportive of her diet, when Amy casually says, I could replace you so easily now, just straight up, like she was commenting on the weather, like she was telling me we needed more eggs or something. I froze mid-flip, spatula in my hand, brain struggling to process if I actually heard that right. I felt it was too much. She literally crossed the line. I turned to her, trying to keep my voice even. What do you mean by that? She just laughed, waving a hand like it was some kind of joke. Oh, come on, don't get all serious. I just mean I have options now. Options, I repeated, setting the spatula down. Since when was this a job listing? Amy smirked, grabbing her coffee. Relax, I just mean things are different now. Like this guy Mark at the gym. He's a personal trainer and runs his own business. That's the kind of ambition I need in my life. I just blinked at her. Ambition? Amy, we bought a house together last year. I'm literally a software engineer. I do pretty well for us. She shrugged, sipping her coffee like this wasn't completely insane. Yeah, but I don't know. It's different. Mark has that hustle, that drive. I stared at her, waiting for her to crack and admit this was some kind of weird joke, but she didn't. She just sat there, totally unbothered. Like she hadn't just told me to my face that I was suddenly not enough for her. That was the moment something shifted, something I couldn't quite put my finger on yet. But I knew this wasn't just a joke. It was freaking disrespect. Then my friends noticed something was up. My buddy Tom tried to talk to me about it. Said Amy was acting different at group hangouts. Said she was flirting with guys right in front of me. I defended her, just to brush their doubts aside. Said she was just being friendly. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Even my mom started asking questions. You know it's bad when your mom notices, right? She came over for Sunday dinner. Another tradition Amy suddenly didn't have time for, and Amy spent the whole time on her phone, barely said 2 words to anyone. At that point, I started wondering if the Amy I knew was ever coming back, or if this was just who she was now. Every day, it felt like she was slipping further away, not just from me but from everything we built together. The inside jokes, the lazy Sunday mornings, the way she used to light up when we talked about the future. Now it was like she was living in a different world, one where I was just background noise. And yeah, I started doubting if this relationship had a future, if I was holding on to something that was already gone. But then I'd catch glimpses of the old her, like when she absent-mindedly reached for my hand in the car or when she laughed at one of my dumb jokes, and I'd convince myself that maybe, just maybe, this was a phase she'd snap out of, that the person I fell in love with was still in there somewhere, just lost for a little while. Then, out of nowhere, Amy's sister Sarah texted me one morning, asking if we could meet up, said it was important. Sarah and I always got along pretty well. She's younger than Amy, 25, but way more down to earth. We met at this little coffee shop near my work. Sarah looked really nervous, kept fidgeting with her cup. Finally, she just comes out with it. Amy's been saying terrible things about her to their whole family. Turns out, Amy had been telling everyone how embarrassing it was to have a fat sister. Sarah's not even fat, she's just normal-sized. Amy said she couldn't have Sarah in her wedding photos because it would ruin her aesthetic, but that wasn't even the main reason Sarah wanted to talk. She'd found something way worse. See, Sarah works in IT and knows her way around computers. She noticed Amy had been making weird excuses about money lately, saying she needed extra cash for gym equipment and special training sessions. Sarah did some digging and found Amy's secret OnlyFans account. Not just random gym pics either, like really explicit stuff. And get this, she was using our house, for some of these photos. That weird gym outfit I found? Yeah, not for the gym. I was freaking sure that trainer Jen was the reason. She's got this whole side business going, gets girls from the gym to start OnlyFans accounts, then takes a cut of their earnings. She sells it to them as female empowerment and taking control of their sexuality or whatever. Amy had fallen for it completely. I sat there in that coffee shop just staring at my cup. Sarah showed me some of the tamer posts, mostly gym pics but with these suggestive captions about private coaching sessions and stuff. The account had been up for months, started right around when she changed her phone password. The worst part? In her OnlyFans bio, Amy wrote she was single, just straight up erased our whole relationship. 9 years together, 2 years engaged, and I'm just gone, like I never existed. Sarah told me more stuff too. Apparently Amy had been going to these photo shoots at the gym after hours. That's what all those late-night training sessions and business meetings with Jen were. They were planning more content, finding ways to get more subscribers. I asked Sarah why she was telling me all this. She started crying. Said she couldn't watch Amy destroy her life anymore. Said Amy had changed so much she didn't even recognize her own sister. The girl who used to bake cookies for homeless shelters was now posting links to her OnlyFans in random guys' direct messages. Sarah had more screenshots, Amy and Jen's messages planning this whole thing. Jen telling Amy she was too hot to be with some tech nerd, and needed to find a guy on her level. Amy agreeing, saying she was ready to upgrade. Sarah even found messages from 6 months ago where Amy was venting to Jen about how she wanted out, but wasn't financially stable enough yet. In one, she wrote, "I just need to hit 50,000 followers, then I can start pulling in real money. Until then, it's not smart to rush things." Another message had Amy complaining that she was stuck playing house with a loser, but at least he pays for everything so she could focus on her goals. She even admitted she was biding her time until she found someone better. Reading those messages made my stomach turn. I wasn't just an afterthought, I was a stepping stone. Sarah was really worried about me, kept saying she was sorry, that she should have told me sooner, but honestly, I was just grateful someone finally showed me the truth. I got back to work after that, but couldn't focus at all, kept thinking about all those nights Amy was at the gym, all those times she was texting and smiling at her phone. Everything made sense now. That night, I didn't go home. I couldn't. Just the thought of seeing her acting normal, like she hadn't completely shattered everything we built, made me sick. I crashed at my buddy Tom's place, lying awake, trying to process everything. Sarah kept checking in, making sure I wasn't spiraling, but honestly, I was too numb to even respond much. Instead, I spent the whole night just going through the evidence she sent me, staring at the screen like maybe I'd wake up and it would all be some messed up dream. But the more I looked, the worse it got. I found Amy's backup Instagram, one I had no idea existed, and yeah, it was bad. Way more revealing pictures than she'd ever post on her main account, like she was advertising herself. The comments were full of guys telling her how good she looked, how they'd treat her better than her current man. And the worst part? She responded. Winky faces, flirty replies. Like our years together meant absolutely nothing. Like losing some weight was all it took for her to forget who she was, who we were. My stomach twisted, and for the first time I realized I wasn't just hurt, I was absolutely done. So, I went home early the next morning, figured she'd still be asleep since she usually sleeps in on weekdays. Her rest day. She was in the kitchen, making her morning protein shake, when I walked in, didn't even look up from her phone. "Where were you last night?" she asked, still scrolling. "Had a really interesting talk with Sarah yesterday," I said. The way her head snapped up. Man, I'll never forget that look, like she knew exactly what was coming. What did that jealous expletive say about me now? Amy tried to play it cool, but her voice was shaking. "I don't know, Amy. Maybe we should talk about your OnlyFans career, or all those direct messages you've been sending, or how about those special photo shoots with Jen?" She tried to deny it at first. "I don't know what you're talking about. Sarah's just making stuff up because she's jealous of my success." "Success?" I laughed. "You mean scamming guys online while pretending to be single, using our house for your photos? That kind of success?" Then she switched tactics real quick, started crying, saying she only did it for us, to make extra money for the wedding. I was like, really? Is that why your bio says you're single? "That's just marketing," she yelled. "You don't understand how this works. Jen says, that's all I've heard for months." Well, guess what? I saw your messages with Jen too, about how you're too good for some tech nerd now, about how you need to upgrade. She went quiet for a minute, then her whole attitude changed. She got this weird smirk on her face. "Fine, you want the truth? Yes, I have an OnlyFans. Yes, I've been talking to other guys, and yes, I probably could do better than you now. Look at me, I'm hot. I've got options. What do you have? A dad bod and a coding job?" "I have self-respect," I said, "and apparently that's more than you've got right now." That made her mad. She started screaming about how I was trying to control her, how I was just insecure because she was finally confident and successful. "Successful?" I laughed. "You're taking half-naked pics in our guest bathroom and calling it success? That's what you think you're worth?" "At least I'm doing something with my life," she yelled, "while you're stuck in the same boring routine. You've got guys paying $5 to see your bathroom selfies." "That's not success, Amy. That's sad." She threw her protein shake at me, missed but made a huge mess on the wall. "Get out," I said. "Pack your stuff and get out." "This is my house too." "Actually, it's not. The mortgage is in my name. You wanted to wait until after the wedding to add your name, remember? Guess that worked out pretty well for me." She started crying again, but I wasn't buying it anymore, not after seeing too many of her fake tears and those screenshots Sarah showed me. "You can't do this to me," she sobbed. "Where am I supposed to go? Maybe ask one of your subscribers, or hey, maybe Jen has a spare room since she's so invested in your success and all." I spent the next 2 hours watching her pack while messaging someone on her phone, probably Jen. Kept giving me these little looks, like she expected me to change my mind. Finally, when she was at the door with her bags, she tried one last time. "You're making a huge mistake. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you." "No," I said. "The best thing that ever happened to me was Sarah showing me those screenshots. Get out." I called a locksmith as soon as she left, then sat down and cried for like an hour straight. 9 years of my life, just gone. Sarah kept texting to check on me. She was really worried about how I was handling everything. With Amy out of my sight, I had to deal with all the wedding stuff. We'd already put deposits down on a venue, caterer, all that. Lost some money, but honestly, it was worth every penny to not go through with it. Calling her parents was rough. Her mom picked up, and I just said, "Hey, there's not going to be a wedding. Amy's been living a double life." I told them about the OnlyFans stuff. Her mom started crying, Her dad got on the phone and actually apologized to me, said they'd noticed Amy changing but didn't want to say anything. Then things got really messy. Amy found out Sarah was the one who told me everything. She showed up at Sarah's apartment completely crazy. Sarah texted me about it later. Amy just came here screaming, said I ruined her life. She tried to hit me but I closed the door. She's still outside yelling. I called Sarah right away to check if she was okay. I could hear Amy in the background. You stupid, fat expletive, you ruined everything I had planned out. Sarah was pretty shaken up. Told me Amy was saying all this stuff about how her plan was to keep me around until she got more followers and could secure a better guy. Real nice, right? Their parents had to come over to deal with Amy. Their mom was crying, dad was yelling, whole scene. Sarah recorded some of it on her phone, just in case Amy tried anything crazy. Amy was screaming at everyone. You're all just jealous. Sarah's jealous because she's fat and ugly. Mom's jealous because she's old. And dad's just mad because his perfect little girl isn't so perfect anymore. Then she started telling them how much money she was making on OnlyFans. Her dad looked like he was going to be sick. Her mom just kept saying, where did we go wrong? Sarah stayed on the phone with me through most of it. We were both just, like watching this person we thought we knew completely lose it. I got a bunch of nasty texts from Amy after. Hope you're happy with my fat sister. You'll regret this when I'm famous. Jen says you're just intimidated by strong women. Have fun being poor and ugly. Like what happened to the girl I fell in love with? I called the venue and caterers the next day. The venue lady was actually super nice when I explained. Not everything, just said my fiancé was unfaithful. She managed to get half our deposit back. I figured that was the end of it, but nope. Amy had other plans. She actually tried to claim the refund for herself, called the venue pretending we were still together, said she was the bride-to-be, and demanded the money be sent to her instead. Luckily, the venue already had my lawyer's info and shut that down fast. I decided to use that money to hire a lawyer, wanted to make sure Amy couldn't try to claim any part of the house or my savings. Good thing I did. Turns out she'd also been telling people I owed her for all the time and effort she put into planning the wedding, even tried saying I should reimburse her for her dress. Yeah, the dress she picked out and put on a payment plan with my credit card. I had to call the shop myself to block her from making any more charges. Sarah's been amazing through all this. Helped me cancel all the other wedding stuff, talked to guests, everything. Her parents keep thanking me for not blaming the whole family for Amy's choices. Amy tried coming by the house a few times, just sat in her car outside like a creep. I called the cops once when she wouldn't leave. They talked to her, and she finally drove off. But something tells me this isn't the last time she'll try pulling something. A couple of weeks after everything went down, I found out through mutual friends that Amy's life isn't going so great. That whole influencer thing she was trying to build? Yeah, not working out. Turns out, there are like 1 million fitness accounts out there, and most of them aren't trying to scam their followers. And Jen, that trainer who got Amy into all this, well, she kicked Amy out after 2 weeks. Sarah heard from their cousin that Jen and Amy had this huge fight. Apparently Amy wasn't bringing in enough money from her OnlyFans account, and Jen said she was bad for business. Real nice friend there, huh? Amy's been couch surfing since then. None of her new gym friends wanted to help her out long term. Weird how that works. All those people who were hyping her up about being too good for me suddenly don't want to deal with her. She tried moving back in with her parents, but that lasted like 3 days. Her dad couldn't even look at her after seeing the OnlyFans stuff. Her mom tried to get her to see a therapist, but Amy just screamed about how nobody understands her vision and left. I got some text from her last week. I miss you. I made a mistake. Can we talk? Please answer me. I've changed. I didn't respond to any of them. Then she sent this long paragraph. I know I messed up. Nothing's working out like Jen said it would. I've lost all my real friends. My family hates me. I'm sleeping on some girl from the gym's couch. I miss our house. I miss our life. I miss you making me breakfast and watching stupid movies with me. Please just talk to me. I didn't flinch. It was like I lost all my feelings. I was dead cold. Sarah showed me Amy's social media. All those inspiring fitness posts are gone now. It's just sad quotes about regret and making mistakes. She's lost most of her followers too. Turns out people can tell when someone's being fake. Amy's also been trying to find a real job, but it's not going well. Apparently, when you post certain kinds of content online, it makes job hunting pretty hard. Who knew? Everyone. Everyone knew. One of her gym friends, well, ex-friend now, messaged me last week. "Hey, just so you know, Amy's been telling everyone you abused her and forced her to start an OnlyFans account." Nobody believes her though. We all saw how she acted. "Sorry you went through that, man." Like, what? I literally didn't even know about the account until Sarah told me. But Amy's so desperate to make herself the victim, she's just making stuff up now. She actually showed up at my work after those apologies she sent, just stood in the parking lot until security made her leave. My coworkers were super confused. I had to explain the whole thing to my boss in case she tries coming back. Sarah says Amy started texting their mom at 3 a.m., crying about how she threw away the only good thing in her life. Their mom's heartbroken, but also like, yeah, you did. Too little too late though, can't unring that bell. But through all this mess, Sarah and I started hanging out more. At first it was just talking about the Amy situation, helping each other deal with all that drama. Then we started getting coffee regularly, then dinner, then movies. Months passed. And what started as just mutual support slowly turned into something else. There was no rush, no pressure, just two people who'd been through hell together, figuring out what life looked like on the other side. Sarah's nothing like Amy. She's real, you know? No fake social media personality, no constant selfies, no trying to impress anyone. She laughs at my dumb jokes, actually wants to hear about my work, and doesn't care that I'm not some Instagram perfect guy. The first time I realized I was feeling something more than friendship was when we were just sitting on my couch, watching some terrible Netflix show. Sarah was making fun of the bad acting, and I looked over at her and just thought, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. We talked about it for weeks before anything happened. Both of us were worried about making things weird, about what people would say, had a lot of long conversations about whether this was okay or if we were just trauma bonding or whatever. Finally, Sarah was like, look, Amy's going to hate us, no matter what we do. We might as well be happy. She was right. When Amy found out we were dating, through their cousin's Instagram, she completely lost it. Started texting everyone in the family about how we were secretly together the whole time, and how we planned this from the beginning. Sarah's parents actually defended us. Her dad told Amy, maybe if you hadn't treated them both so badly this wouldn't have happened. Amy blocked them all after that. It's been 6 months now. Sarah moved in last month. We took it slow, did it right. She actually helps with the housework, unlike Amy, who just took pictures of herself doing it for Instagram. We cook together, go hiking on weekends. Normal stuff. Amy still tries to cause drama sometimes. She made this whole Instagram post about how some people will betray you in the worst ways with a bunch of snake emojis. Sarah just laughed and was like, guess she finally looked in a mirror. She tried messaging me one last time. I hope you're happy with my leftover sister. Just remember, she'll never be as hot as me. You downgraded and everyone knows it. Sarah saw the message and just said, wow. She really thinks being a decent human being is downgrading, huh? That's what I love about Sarah. She doesn't let this stuff get to her. She's confident in who she is without needing thousands of followers to validate her. We're planning a camping trip next month. Just us, some tents, no phones, no social media, real life, you know? Sometimes I think about how weird it is that Amy's betrayal led me to someone so much better. Sarah says maybe we needed Amy to show us what we didn't want in life so we could appreciate what we do want. So, yeah, that's my story. It feels good to finally have the whole thing written out. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. You guys helped me get through some really rough days.